He stood on the precipice of a dying world, the dust of civilization settling beneath his boots, a grim satisfaction etched into his craggy face. For most, this image of Thanos embodies ultimate power, ruthless conquest, a twisted form of galactic stewardship. But what if I told you that beneath the purple hide and the chilling resolve, the architect of universal genocide was driven by something far more human, far more tragically mundane than a desire for balance? What if the Mad Titan, the destroyer of worlds, was simply a being consumed by an agonizing, unrequited love? It's a strange thought, isn't it? To consider the motivation behind nearly all of Thanos' villainy not as a grand philosophical crusade, but as a profound, albeit twisted, courtship ritual. From his earliest blood-soaked ventures to the universe-spanning cataclysms he orchestrated, almost every action was, in essence, a macabre gift, a grand gesture designed to win the affection of one of the most abstract and terrifying entities in the cosmos, death herself. Imagine for a moment the young Thanos, an eternal outcast, a child of Titan, grappling with the stark realities of life and inevitable decay. He didn't just understand death, he saw her, personified as a cold, beautiful, and utterly indifferent cosmic force. And in that indifference, he found a challenge, a profound attraction. He became convinced that to truly understand existence, one must embrace her, serve her, perhaps even be with her. This one-sided romance wasn't a side quest, it defined his very existence. His initial acts of destruction were, in his warped mind, humble offerings. A planet called here, a civilization extinguished there. Small tokens designed to catch her eye, to prove his dedication. He wasn't seeking power for its own sake, but rather as a means to become worthy, to present himself as a suitable consort for the very embodiment of oblivion. Each life taken was a whisper of devotion, each world purged a declaration of intent. But death, ever aloof, ever enigmatic, rarely reciprocated. She remained a silent observer, a distant muse, her gaze never lingering on him with the affection he so desperately craved. And this, perhaps, was the true fuel for his descent into nihilistic rage. Her spurning, her continued rejection of his bloody overtures only amplified his obsession. If a handful of lives weren't enough, then perhaps half a world would be. If a world wasn't sufficient, then an entire galaxy must surely impress her. He began to escalate, driven by a perverse logic. The greater the sacrifice, the more profound the gesture, the more likely she was to finally acknowledge him. He meticulously sought out the Infinity Stones, not as tools for galactic domination, but as the ultimate engagement rings, the power required to forge a gift so immense, so audacious, that even the cosmic entity of death could not ignore it. Think of the snap, the infamous act that erased half of all life in the universe. For most, it was an act of cold, calculated logic to prevent overpopulation and resource depletion. But for Thanos, it was the ultimate act of love, the grandest declaration of devotion ever conceived. "Look, my beloved," one can almost hear him whisper to the empty void, "I have cleared half the board for you. I have brought balance through devastation, a monument built from the silence of billions. Am I not worthy now?" It was his magnum opus, his bloody Valentine, an attempt to prove himself the ultimate instrument of her will, a devoted partner in the eternal dance of creation and destruction. Yet, even after this unimaginable sacrifice, death remained elusive, her silence deafening. The comic narratives often depict her only to dismiss him, her indifference more painful than any physical blow. His ultimate victory, the balancing of the universe, felt hollow, devoid of the very recognition he craved. The Mad Titan, standing triumphant amidst the echoing silence of a universe half gone, was not basking in glory, but in the profound loneliness of an unrequited cosmic love. He had given everything, committed unimaginable atrocities, all for a glance, a touch, a whisper of acknowledgement that never came. And this, perhaps, is the true tragedy of Thanos. Not merely a villain driven by misguided philosophy, but a being whose entire existence was defined by a profound, desperate need for connection, a love that could only express itself through destruction, and that was doomed to remain forever unfulfilled. It's a stark reminder that even the most formidable figures can be driven by vulnerabilities that are strangely familiar, if terrifyingly amplified. What do you think? Does this perspective change how you view the Mad Titan? Or is it simply a dark twist on an already formidable character? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this exploration intriguing, consider subscribing for more journeys into the depths of narrative and character. Thank you for listening.